Well, hey, let's go ahead and get started. I'll go ahead and give you an opportunity, first of all, just to talk a little bit about your team's win last night and how, hopefully you've won 4 in a row and hope that momentum continues to roll into the weekend.
Yeah, I think where we were a week ago from today, we're a totally different team. Didn't feel like we were playing really good baseball. Come out of the gates, played well opening night against Air Force, and then played really good the first part of the game against LSU, and then they really punched us in the mouth, staggered us, and we didn't recover and didn't really feel like we played with an edge or with a chip on our shoulder, and that's kind of who we are. That's kind of our identity. And that was the focus last week at practice. Get our edge back, get our identity back, chip on the shoulder. And I really thought last weekend against McNeese was our most complete weekend that we've played. And I thought last night we played really sound. We didn't get a good start on the mound, but our relievers did an outstanding job keeping us in the ball game. And Tanner Knight and Greg Martinez, the reason we won the ball game last night. We obviously had the big inning. We hit the 7th spot in the 7th. We can do that. We have the ability offensively to strike quick and to put up a crooked number. We've done it. And, it was a big win for us. We needed that win, especially with what we got coming in here this weekend with Arkansas. And then you don't want to look too far ahead, but then Ole Miss rolls in Tuesday and Wednesday. So it's obviously we're about to it's about to get real and play some really, really good opponents. And so we really needed that win last night. You don't like to put too much stock in one game or even one series, but I felt like last night we had not won a midweek game. We only played 2, but we needed to find a way to win, and we kind of scuffled along, left some runners out there, but was able to get the big hits when we needed it. And Tanner Knight, Greg Martinez were outstanding, and ultimately won the ball game.
Go ahead, Ben.
Coach, talking about the game last night, I know the 7-run 7th inning will get a lot of publicity, but I thought the bottom of the 7th, ULM started the inning with, I think, 2 12 hoppers through the 5-6 hole. You had a young pitcher on the mound in Martinez. Just talk about some of the maturity he showed to not panic when you needed that shutdown inning after you had gotten a lead. Really a guy in Martinez who only has about 20 career innings as well.
Yeah, he has good stuff. He has an electric arm, and when his slider's working and he's throwing strikes, he can be tough on you on an offense. And you're exactly right. I thought gave up 2 soft contact singles, and he could have folded, and he could have got sped up, and he didn't. He kept his composure and got us out of the inning. And you're exactly right, Ben. And look, talking about the 7th inning, top of the 7th, when we had we scored all the runs. Everybody talks about Matulia's triple, which rightfully so. It was a big time at bat. But earlier in the inning, Alex Ray, we had 2 strikes, 2 outs. He gets a single, keeps the inning going. Then Taylor Young walks, and I thought Steele Netterville's at bat with Matulia hitting behind him. I thought they brought the right-hander in that has a good slider to try to punch him out, get him to chase, and he didn't. He spit on some really close pitches, some tough pitches. He had a tremendous at bat, and that brings Matulia up to get the 3-run triple. So there's so many things in the course of a ball game, in the course of an inning, you can pick out, and I think that's a great point. Martinez holding his composure as a young pitcher. Being in a situation where we need a shutdown right there, and he was able to do that, kept his composure, and I thought we defended the field pretty well last night, turned some crucial double plays, and I thought Tanner Knight made some huge plays off the mound, off a safety squeeze. He got off the mound, kept him from scoring, and then he had a swing and bunt. He fell down and was able to record the out while on his backside. Just an athletic play and didn't get sped up. So great points there. Just guys keeping their composure, young guys, and in pivotal moments. So that was good to see.
Corey?
Lane, do you feel like you guys have found your your weekend lineup with, you mentioned it a little bit there with Matulia kind of protecting Steele, and then right behind that you've got Manny, who's been swinging a hot bat lately. Do you feel like that's the lineup that you'll be able to roll out each weekend out from here on out?
I think so. We tried on Saturday. They went with the righty, so we actually benched. I did benched Garcia to get McConnell in there, who's another good hitter, to get our lefties, and lo and behold, Manny comes up late in the game and gets the big 2-run double to help us win the game, and then he just absolutely goes bananas on Sunday. Had the big home run last night to get us going. And yeah, I think pretty much that's probably the lineup we'll go with, whether we're facing right or left. And we're fortunate this year. We do have some depth on the bench. We got some young hitters: McConnell, Darius Myers, Shamar Page is another one, Kyle Krieger, Bryce Wallace. We have some options over there on the bench that we can turn to, and if we need to. So we feel good about our depth offensively. But right now, we feel like probably 11 games in, that lineup's probably solidified itself, and guys are doing what they need to do. Look, we punched out too many times last night. I think we went 14, and we need to clean that up. But ultimately, we won the ball game. We got the big hit when we needed to, and we grinded out some at-bats. And I like where we are right now as our lineup, where it stands, and we'll keep rolling with that till we need to make an adjustment.
Lane, talk a little bit about what these next 5 games at home against 2 of the top 3 teams in the country nationally mean to this program.
Well, it's big. Obviously, when you get an Arkansas and an Ole Miss to come to your place, and not only for one game midweek, but a weekend set, that doesn't happen a lot. I coached in the SEC. They don't travel. They don't like to go away from home, rightfully so. They can play. People like to come to them, and to get Arkansas here for a weekend and then Ole Miss for a double midweek and back-to-back is something we couldn't turn down. I know it's tough. It's going to be hard to navigate those 5 games. They're really good, obviously. All you got to do is look at the rankings or go look at their highlights. It doesn't take long to realize how good they really are. But at Louisiana Tech, getting to where we're trying to get, and that's in regionals every year, not just being a flash-in-the-pan team or program. We got a new ballpark. Things are trending in the right direction. And to be able to have them here and to be on TV this weekend, it's a nonstop infomercial for not only our program, but our university, our community of Ruston, and people will be seeing that state tee in center field, Bulldogs, Louisiana Tech, and it just shows, I think, what others think of our program. We get tremendous support. You know, obviously it's a COVID year, so it'll be restricted in the number of fans. It'll still be a great atmosphere. But if it was a normal year, there wouldn't be a place to sit. You couldn't see a blade of grass anywhere. There would be people everywhere. And that's just the support we get. Our fans do a tremendous job coming out and supporting us. And to get these 2 programs to come in here and play us, especially back-to-back, you can't put a price tag on it. And look, it's you look at it, these are the kind of teams you got to navigate. If you want to get to Omaha, you look at an Arkansas, and it's going to be a super regional type deal. That's how we'll look at it. You don't have to be better than them for a week. You got to be better than them for 2 nights. And that's the way we're going to look at it this weekend. They're really, really good, obviously. So is Ole Miss. And to get to where we want to be, where everybody wants to be in college baseball, these are the teams you have to go through. And we're very fortunate to have them at home. That doesn't happen a lot. I appreciate them coming here. So we'll have great fans out there, great support, and we need to go out and play well.
Hey, Matt, you got a question?
Yeah, I do. Coach, this is Matt Jones with the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Dave Van Horn was talking about just kind of how this series came about. He said that you guys were going to come back up here. Do you know a year yet when that's scheduled?
We don't, Matt. We will return. Me and Coach Van Horn have a great relationship. Obviously, I worked for him 1997, 98, Northwestern State. With him and Rob Childress, we're on the same staff. I was just a little guy on the totem pole, but we'll definitely come back up there probably for a weekend. Talking to Clay, who does most of their scheduling, through Coach Van Horn, probably 23, maybe even 24. Scheduling's done so far in advance. When Coach called me about coming here, needed to go on the road this weekend, he said, "Who do you have scheduled?" And I said, "Well, if you're wanting to come here, it's you. We'll clear it off." So a lot can be moved around to schedule. We have not nailed down a date, Matt, but we'll definitely be making the trip back up to Fayetteville and in the near future.
And then what have been your impressions of what you've seen from Arkansas through 10 games?
Oh, my gosh. You know, watching Friday Night Guy down there a little while ago, we pulled him up. We didn't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. We had a big game last night. Obviously, we know what's in front of us, but I mean, it looks like Walker Buehler pitching. It's real. Look, we got all the reports and talked to all the people that seen them play out in Arlington, and you know, you get the reports. Their 10th guy of the bullpen settling in at 96, 97. So it's about to be amped up. They're really good. They have a great lineup. They got some older hitters mixed in with some younger guys, and it's going to be a hard lineup to navigate multiple times through a ball game. And obviously, the pitching is loaded. It's going to be different than what we've seen, but we need to see it. Look, we're preparing this team for conference play, Conference USA. We're preparing this team for hopefully a late run in May and June. And hopefully by the time we get to conference play with Southern Miss in a couple weeks, we'll be prepared. There will be nothing we hadn't seen playing Arkansas and Ole Miss. When I was coaching in the SEC, we always used to say this league prepares you for everything. There's nothing you won't see when you get to a regional, when you get to a super regional, when you get to Omaha, that you hadn't already seen in Southeastern Conference. So that's the challenge with us. We need to go out and play well, continue to get better, and don't prostitute ourselves to the scoreboard so much. Just go out, play, be who we are. Because Arkansas, they're really good. They're really good. Man to man, we probably can't line up with them man to man. But we can play hard. We can control what we can control, and just looking forward to a great atmosphere, a great weekend of college baseball. But what I've seen from them is they're really good. They probably are the best team in the country right now, if not. And we'll see as the season progresses. But I think we got two of the best teams in the entire nation coming into our ballpark here in the next week.
I have a couple more, but I'll back it out for a minute and let somebody else have a chance.
Okay, Corey.
Lane, what will be the biggest thing that you and Mike will stress to Finch and Ward and the rest of the starting rotation this weekend? What's that biggest thing you'd like for the starters to focus on as this series progresses?
I think, especially, Fincher, he's done a good job of it, but just attack the strike zone. I think Jennings still coming off the surgery and still trying to fill himself out. Jennings is a competitor from way back. He's an ultra competitor, and I don't really feel like he's let it go, and he needs to attack the strike zone. We know we're facing a great lineup, probably the best lineup we'll face all year. It could be, possibly. So as of to this point, it is not even close. So just to absolutely attack the strike zone and believe in yourself. Be who you are. Don't try to be something you're not. Those guys are good pitchers, and they're pitching on the weekend at a good Division I baseball program for a reason. So Fincher, that's what he does. He throws strikes at a high level with multiple pitches, and those guys, when they're in the strike zone and they're commanding all their pitches, they can be tough because they're great competitors, and don't get caught up so much in what the other team's doing. We kind of have a saying in our program: it's a nameless, faceless opponent. It doesn't matter if it's Arkansas or whoever we're playing. It's we're competing against the game. At the end of the day, we're all competing against the game of baseball, and you can only control what you can control, and don't get so caught up in what's going on over there. And it's the number one team in the country and all that stuff, and just continue to get better. But Corey, most importantly, just attack the strike zone, command the baseball, especially with your fastball, and I think as long as we do that, we'll be okay.
Ben?
Coach, you talked a little bit about, some of the quality arms that Arkansas is going to possess, really in the rotation up and down the bullpen. Does that change the way that you might manage this weekend, knowing that hits might be, more difficult to come by?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, we play in a hitter's park, and we got some physical hitters. We got some athletic hitters too. That's kind of our deal right now. We can strike quick, and we can put up a crooked number, and we can drive the yard if we need to, and split a gap. But we hadn't faced a staff like this either, so it'll be different. Yeah, runs will be at a premium. We feel like so that these are guys that are going to attack the strike zone. Look, when you're pitching in a weekend in the SEC, you're probably a big leaguer. You're probably going to pitch in the big league. So, you're going to have a great opportunity to do that. So, yeah, it's going to be a struggle. Probably push runs across home plate. So you may have to hit and run early in the ball game. You may have to bunt early in the ball game just to try to get a run across home plate and let everybody exhale and relax, and because they're going to be amped up. Look, it's going to be a great crowd. These kids aren't dumb. They see everything. You can't hide stuff from them anymore. They're hearing all the stuff about who's coming in here, and they'll be amped up, want to play good. It's just a matter of when you're facing good pitchers, you can't get amped up to a high level. We like to say like a 1 to 10 scale. At a 10, I'm running down on a kickoff. At a 3, we're sitting here having an interview drinking coffee. If you amp up to a 10 as a hitter and that guy's really good on the mound, you're playing right into his hand. You need to calm it down. A lot of times hitters will get sped up because the guy's throwing hard or he's got a really good breaking ball. We need to be who we are and continue to progress, as it's still early in the year. But yeah, man, you're right. Runs could be at a premium, so we may have to manage different, try to do what we can to get runs across the board, even if it's one run or maybe two, even if it's not a big inning that you probably won't. We'll probably have more trouble doing that against this staff.
Corey?
Lane, and to that point, just how crucial is it to have, why there at the leadoff, Hunter Wells behind him, Parker, guys that have been in big games and for several years in this program, have played it at the box down at LSU and have gone and actually played in Fayetteville, been in these environments, been in these games. How much can you rely on just the experience and the veterans that you have at the top of this lineup to be able to not get sped up, as things are progressing during a game and to keep an even kill and potentially get that big hit?
It's huge. We do have an older lineup, and those guys, they've been in some big environments. They played at Arkansas, they played at Mississippi State, they played at LSU. I don't think those guys will get sped up. There's a chance they could get overmatched, and that could happen with anybody when you're facing a really good arm. But I think they understand the moment. They've been in the moment. They know where they want to take this program. So yeah, there is a sense as a coach going into a series when you're facing maybe the best pitching staff in the country that you do have older hitters. You don't feel like they're going to get overwhelmed by the moment. If it's a younger guy or freshman, probably so, would have more apt to get sped up and be overwhelmed. But yeah, if you look at our lineup, it's older guys that have had 500, 600 at bats in their career. Some of them, Parker Bates, over 1,000 when you mix in summer ball. So those guys have been to the plate a lot against really good arms. They've been to the plate a lot in stressful situations. And again, they just need to be who they are and who we are, and that's all we can control. But it does help to have an older veteran lineup for sure.
Matt?
Yeah, you mentioned this. I missed it. Are you keeping the same rotation as you had last weekend?
Yeah, we are right now. We'll go Fincher on Friday. We'll go Jennings on Saturday, Wharf on Sunday as of right now. So we're going to stay with that. We're in a situation, Matt, in Conference USA, we're playing 4-game weekends, so we start league play in 2 weeks, and that was one of our themes last night. We need to find a 4th starter. So it's a little different in our league this year, and we may have found one last night. But as far as this weekend, yeah, we'll stay with the same rotation, barring sickness or injury. That's what we plan to do.
I don't know if you've looked this far out. The weather doesn't look too great Sunday afternoon. Any thought of maybe having a doubleheader Saturday?
Yeah, possibly. I did look at it, and I saw exactly what you did. And Gerald Jordan, he's our baseball administrator, and he's hitting 1,000 this year with the weather. So I'll give it to him and let him make the decision. He's made a couple of tough decisions this year so far at home, and quite frankly, I disagreed with him, and he was right on the money both times. So Gerald will make the right decisions in the best interest of both teams. Obviously, we want to get all 3 games in, and I know Coach Van Horn, they're preparing. I think SEC play starts next week, and it's like he told me, this is their first real road against the other team contest, straight up 3 games against the home team. So we'll do what we can to get the ball games in. We need to play and do the best interests of our fans. But yeah, I have looked at it and I have seen the same thing. There's a chance of rain on Sunday.
And then one more for you. Since you've been there, you played Arkansas twice. In 2017, you split the midweek, and then a couple of years ago, you came up here and took them to a rubber match. What have been your impressions of this series? And it seems like it's been pretty entertaining.
Yeah, it is. I know their coaches real well. I mean, obviously, tons of respect for their program and their coaching staff, and I like playing Arkansas because we're not too far away. We have a lot of Arkansas fans in our area, North Louisiana, so it's a good matchup, a good non-conference. It obviously shows us where we are. It lets us know where we can stack up against a quality program, and you know what you're going to get when you play Arkansas. It's just going to be baseball, man. They're going to line up. They're going to come after you with really good players. There's not going to be a lot of shenanigans and riffraff, and it's just old school baseball. And I love the way they coach, the way they recruit. I love the way they run their program, and I want to keep this going because it gives us like I said, it gives us a measuring stick of where we measure up in the grand scheme of things with the better programs in the country.
Corey, Ben, y'all got anything?
I'm good.
Matt, you got anything else?
No, sir. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, Matt. Thank you.
Thank you, Cubs. Good luck. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.